This is a box. The whole sum total cost of that was about £35 because I don't think they charged us for all the wood properly, but don't tell B&Q that. Hello, my name's James. I'm a portrait photographer from Portsmouth in the UK. You've probably not heard of me, and I welcome you to this, my studio, and this, a 3-part workshop. The evolution of style, from natural to editorial glam. Let's welcome Zoe to the studio here. Say hi, Zoe.
Natural beauty. Zoe.
Zoe is naturally beautiful. That's why we're using her for this workshop today. As I said, it's a 3-part workshop drop. Parts 2 and parts 3 will drop in the following weeks. This is the natural beauty part of the shoot, and what we want to do is we want to reduce as many barriers to entry to studio portrait photography as possible by using kit that doesn't cost too much money and by using styling that doesn't cost too much money, and show you how you can use simple kit to create really high-end, natural looking editorial images. For this workshop today, I'm just armed with my Canon R6 and a 24 to 105 f4 lens. We're going to discuss what settings we use on that in just a moment. We've got a simple trigger there on the top of the unit, and that trigger is going up to this light here. This is my Elinchrom RX4. It's an old light. You can get even like older ones there from Elinchrom online if you search on eBay. If you're very lucky, you can find these lights for less than £100. It's been in my studio for more than 10 years, and the reason why it's been in my studio for more than 10 years is because it's pretty reliable, very rarely breaks down on me, and does simple things well. It has so many things that can't go wrong with it because it doesn't have all of these elements and all these gimmicks. It's just power up, power down, light on, light off, and that's what I like most about it. It's on a tripod here with a very simple reflector cup here. This reflector cup, around about 12 inches on here, and it's just shooting light straight out from the front, just controlling the light slightly so that if this was off, we can show you, this would just be a bare bulb where light is spilling all around from the side and then slightly out the back, and it's just coming all around. This, putting it on the end, just gives it a tiny little bit of direction just coming out and a tiny little bit of control to this light. So this is a whole one light workshop for you today. We're going to see where we can take the shoot and how natural we can make these images look. In terms of styling for Zoe, for the natural look, come in nice and close here. We've gone for hair down, keep it nice and natural, nothing too styled, nothing too try hard, as Zoe will attest to.
I never try hard.
She never tries hard at all. Simple denim shorts and these cool boots as well. The color scheme matches between those two, so it makes perfect sense. And then an oversized shirt on top, kind of timeless. Most models will have had some sort of, most of the world famous supermodels at some point will have had a photograph taken in an oversized bloke shirt. So it's very, very simple for us to do there. And the backdrop we're going to be using here is our white backdrop here. Come and have a look at this. So we're just using a white wall. If you don't have a white wall, then what I used to do in my first studio was I got a massive piece of white cloth and white linen, and I hung it from the back wall of my studio, and that was my white background. So that's what I use there. But we're using a white wall. We're going to put Zoe right up against the white wall here, and we're going to take our first test shot. So we're going to bring the tripod in here with the RX4 nice and close, and we're just going to see what this gives us. Now, in terms of looking for inspiration, which is something a lot of photographers struggle with, there's 2 things photographers struggle with mainly when they start working with people. Firstly is how to handle people, how to get people to pose. And there is a free guide, 100 poses, completely free, that you can download from nofussmus.com. If you go on there, subscribe, and we'll send you through that PDF, 100 different ways to pose a person. Just a nice simple printout for you to take. The other thing they struggle with is for inspiration. How can I make my shoots look different? Well, what we've done for inspiration on this shoot here, real important, I do this for all of my stylized shoots, is we've created a mood board. The mood board I've created, I just Googled the best Vogue covers of all time. Vogue being a fashion magazine, Vogue being high-end, Vogue using high-end photographers, high-end lighting, high-end sets, and high-end models. And from this, we can draw inspiration and have a look at poses and get the model's buy-in in terms of what we're trying to produce. We've already gone through this with Zoe, and we can see generally with Vogue, the focus is very much on the styling, the makeup, the hair, and the wardrobe, because it's a fashion magazine, it's selling those aspects of fashion. And with that in mind, you'll notice that quite a lot of these shots are kind of like head and shoulder shots with quite simple lighting setups. And if they're simple lighting setups, there really shouldn't be anything stopping us from using just one light and creating something similar along those lines. We're going for natural beauty, so I want to try and get, as much as possible, a flat lighting source on this one. The flat lighting source, I'm looking for a shadowless lighting source. That's what I mean by flat lighting. So we're trying to just get the nice natural beauty that Zoe exudes in her daily life to come off without any complex lighting, without any harsh contrasts or harsh shadows. The first shot we're going to take here, that light is in my normal position, 45 degrees round, 45 degrees up and 45 degrees down, so that if we were to draw a line through the middle of the light all the way through the reflector cap there, we would see, if we come in nice and close, we would see that that line would go just above Zoe's eyelid, so it's coming from a natural position up above. We've set the light up there and we've set our camera settings, ISO 100, 160th of a second. I'm going to be shooting this one at around about f11, 160th of a second, so it syncs up with this RX4 perfectly without going into those higher shutter speeds that's going to create banding. And f11, kind of like a deeper aperture there to get lots of detail coming through. And we're just going to see how this marries up with the light that we've set to 3.0 on the Elinchrom scale. So that's about halfway power to what this light can produce. We'll take a quick test shot here there for me. So that's it. Well, look at this. Very simple pose there for me from Zoe. And in 3, 2, 1, go. We have a look at that shot there. And we can see on here that we have quite a high-end fashion portrait there, looking straight down the camera. We've got a nose shadow there, and we've also got a shadow coming across Zoe's eye where the fringe has come down, and we can also see a shadow on the wall. So although we're looking at this scene here and we can see a white backdrop, that's not what's coming through the camera because we have a hard, direct light source. Now the way that we can change that, there's actually a number of ways that we can make this light source look flat. A real simple one for me here, because I have a white ceiling directly above Zoe, is I'm just going to turn that light up there, look at bouncing off the ceiling. So that light is now coming up and it should bounce down onto Zoe there. Now if we were to take this portrait at f11 and keep all of the lights exactly the same pose there for me Zoe, 3, 2, 1, go, we'll see that we have a very dark portrait. Why do we have a dark portrait? Well, the reason is the inverse square law. The light has further to travel and it's also coming from a larger source. The further the light has to travel, the less power that light has in terms of exposure, and also there's a much wider dispersal now of the light. So it's hitting every element of white above Zoe in this ceiling and coming down. Because it's spread over a wider area, it's less powerful. So we can just turn up the power of the light, but what I'm going to do in this instance is I'm just going to dial back the aperture from f11 through f8 down to f5.6. We're going to lose about 2 stops. We're going to open up by about 2 stops there of aperture. There's about 2 stops more of light coming through there. Same pose again there for me, Zoe. 3, 2, 1, go. And we'll see how that one looks now. Much more brighter, much more natural look there. But because the light's coming directly from above, if we were to actually go super close into that one, we'd see that there isn't any light in the eyes. There's no catch lights in the eyes, so they're not sparkling and not showing us off. Dead behind the eyes as usual. So we're going to bring the light back into where we were, looking towards Zoe, and we're going to use this. Now, I've spoken about this on previous videos. This is part of my 5-in-1 reflector. It has a shell on the outside of it like this that has a black side, a silver side, a white side, and a gold side, okay? That's what wraps around this disc on the inside. But this disc on the inside has this, and I think the word's translucent, and if it isn't translucent, I'll put the word up that it should be, but it has this material inside that light can pass through, not completely transparent, but neither is it completely opaque. So we can see things on the other side of it there. So if we were to bring this disc in here, And it's put on a very simple bracket that, again, eBay you can find for about a tenner, and I've seen these reflectors for about a tenner as well if you're lucky. We're just going to bring this light here back just a little bit here. So now this light, this is acting now as what we would call a screen. And in movies and TV and film and all that sort of thing, they'll bring up massive screens that are huge to block out light and only allow soft light to pass through to give them even light sources. What we're doing in this instance is we're moving our main light away, but moving the screen really close. And we're going to change our focal length to match, and we're going to see how that now affects the portrait of Zoe. So coming in nice and close there, I've zoomed in nice and close, 3, 2, 1, go. Move the head very slightly this way, 3, 2, 1, go, and change it again, 3, 2, 1, go. Perfect. And now we can see there, it's a flatter lighting, but it's giving us a little bit of tonal range. There's a tiny bit of tonal range on the left-hand side of the face as we look at it. It's ever so slightly darker, so there's a little bit of contrast moving through, but it's a nicely controlled image there to get a nice editorial feel, whilst also keeping the portrait looking natural. What we can then do with this setup here, remember we still had to open up the aperture there because the disc is dispersing the light, it's making the light less powerful, still shooting that at f5.6. But what we haven't done in this one is we haven't showcased the fashion element to the picture. We've kept it looking natural, kept it looking easy, but we haven't actually showcased the fashion element. I'm going to bring this back just a little bit here, just to give us a bit more space. I love the way Zoe was stood naturally there with her hand in her pocket and just dropped the knee to the side there for me, just like that, nice and simple. Hold that there, that's good. And every time you see a flash, just change your pose, go. And this is what we call flow posing. And there's a whole video on flow posing that if you click that link above the video now, you'll be able to see. And relax. A nice series there of flow pose shots there from Zoe with minimal shadow acquired. But we still can't see, and you will have noticed this internet, I'm sure, we still can't see Zoe's amazing cowgirl boots in those pictures. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to elevate the portrait a little bit further. We're going to bring in a prop. This is a box that we made by getting wood cut from B&Q. The whole sum total cost of that box, I think, was about £35 once it was made, because I don't think they charged us for all the wood properly, but don't tell B&Q that at B&Q. We're going to get Zoe just to sit down on the block there for me. We're going to move our lights back because she's moved back off of the background. So now we just move our lights to match. We keep this in place here. We make sure everything's lined up so that the light is shooting through. We're going to bring a foot up onto the block there for me if we can, Zoe. That's good. So we've just got that one boot in the block. We can keep our distance here, just coming back, shooting on our longer focal length. And bring your hand now for me into the shirt there for me. That's perfect. I'm just going to make a tiny adjustment to the screen because she's come down just a little bit lower. That's great. Tiny adjustments. If you're seeing things that aren't quite working, we just make tiny adjustments. That's perfect there. Looking off camera that way there for me if we can. Turn your head a little bit further if we can. Can we change legs to bring the other leg up? Is that possible? You can bring that other leg up. Oh, that's good. That's she looks so annoyed when I asked her to do that. 3, 2, and one more, looking down towards me. 3, 2, 1, go. Perfect. Now bring the other hand into the hair there for me, the far hand there for me, just like that. Perfect. 3, and looking off camera. 3, 2, 1, go. There. Beautiful series of natural looking shots there. And we've managed to control the light. Come and have a look at these shots, Zoe.
Oh, look at me.
These ones were good.
Oh, they're cute.
We like them, they're cute.
She's a casual though.
So that's how we achieve a natural look with the naturally beautiful Zoe, there she is, with a simple lighting setup that we can get on a budget. Join us for the next video where we take it to the next level and start adding cinematic mood and cinematic contrast to take these editorial images up a stage. And we're going to be doing that by employing a second light. Like and subscribe in the meantime, say nice things, leave a comment below about how naturally beautiful Zoe is. That's all people in the comments want to talk about. And if you do enjoy this video, then you can visit nofussmus.com for more online learning, including our 1, our 2 and our 3 light workshops, which will take you through the basics of how to use 1 light, how to use 2 lights and how to use 3 lights. And always say nice things, isn't that right, Zoe?
Always say nice.
Yeah. See you later. All the best.